Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 3, where Sora was going blue. And I suppose to kind of talk about that scene, since I really just sort of wanted to let it play beforehand. First of all, this is the whole idea of the nature taboo that Shirothy brought up beforehand, and I believe I also brought up beforehand, in regards to the power of waking, in which we are going to be abusing right now. But in the meantime, though, yeah, there was also an aspect of this earlier scene where Sora completely breaks down, where some fans feel that it wasn't particularly well earned and everything was just sort of rushed to get characters to where they needed to be, but yeah, we'll discuss that as we come along. In the meantime, though, we have more story context yet to begin, and yes, let's just say, the power of waking can be used for time travel, but not in the way in which we've experienced it before in Kingdom Hearts. This one is a little different.
Riku! Riku! Answer me! This is Herc's world. Is Riku here? There's nobody here.
Gee, I'm here.
Jiminy! You're okay!
Well, okay might be a stretch, but what are we waiting for? We need to find the others.
Right! Riku!
And so we have a rather unique Heartless boss to take down. In this case, the Leech. Basically giving us a connection between life and death, and yeah, as all of the hearts have been scattered towards the darkness, we now basically have to rescue all the hearts of our friends from the Leech in order to restore them to their previous point in time, but yeah, as Shirothy pointed out, that's a nature taboo. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing the full consequences of basically what Sora's doing, and well, basically why the power of waking is meant to restore sleeping hearts, i.e. Sora, Dream Drop Distance, and indeed Ventus, as we saw earlier in the game, and not to bring the dead back to life. Because, yeah, even in fantasy universes like Kingdom Hearts, that's a bit of a no-no when you lose your heart. But in any case, that's, it's a concept that's admittedly been to the point of a lot of confusion for a lot of people, but yeah, this is something that's going to be a bit of a focal point in Kingdom Hearts 4, because what happens when you commit a nature taboo, i.e. bringing the dead back to life and, you know, abusing the power of waking? Well, you'll see at the end of the commentary, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be the main crux of Kingdom Hearts 4. And needless to say, as a law of reality, what happens when you break it? Let's just say you become excommunicated. And I'll leave it at that. But who cares about dangerous and darkness? Whee! Yes, indeed, we can still ride our magical carousel, so it's not all doom and gloom. Even though we're still fighting the heartless and freeing their hearts, saving our friends, and perverting the space-time continuum. Dear Jesus, all the time paradoxes that are being caused, entropy fields are being created. To cope with the paradox, we need a charged vacuum embointment. Yeah, bit of science fiction for you chili cheese fry motherfuckers.
We gotta keep going.
But yeah, Jiminy is also with us. To kind of, well, I mean, then again, I guess if like the whole magical thing also restores Sora's clothes, then I guess technically anything on his person, like the gummy phone, the keyblade, and everything else is also with him. I don't know. Exceptions for small personal objects. So I suppose if Sora was like, I don't know, carrying a cat or something in his handbag, would that technically mean he was alright? Yeah, well, whatever. The important thing is that we basically need to beat this leash across several environments all throughout the game in order to get our friends back and watch as Ariel kicks this death god's ass. Take this.
Hey! Wait!
There's no need to worry, Sora. He'll return to the place he fell, like you did. We gotta focus on rescuing the others.
Okay.
That scoundrel must have fled into one of those pools of shadow that are down below us.
Where do they lead?
Well, I think they might be portals to other worlds.
Okay. Maybe that's where we'll find the others.
If we hurry.
And that's very much our product of the now. Dream drop distancing, ready, set, dive! Into several worlds that we've already been to, in a kind of familiar element to World Terminus of Kingdom Hearts 1, which does make me wonder whether or not this was meant to be more of the aspects of, you know, the final world that was cut out from Kingdom Hearts 1 that was initially meant for Kairi, or that was later repurposed throughout the rest of the game? I don't know, it ebbs on a similar beat, and, yeah, just make for a very memorable presence throughout the game. But yeah, go throughout several different worlds, have more encounters with, you know, the leech. And of course, once you kick its ass, bada bing, you do the thing, and, well, happy trails, really. So I suppose to sort of, talk turkey about anything else related to, well, the leech, really. Yeah, again, in terms of this point of the game, again, I am reasonably leveled up, so it's not really too big of a threat. I mean, especially if you can have, the aerial summon kick its ass, but, yeah, pretty cool Heartless, and it does seem to have a great deal of death symbolism that seems to be quite important between its tie to the final world, well, and beyond, I suppose, where hearts go once their lives have been spent. But in any case, so, yeah, rescuing all of our little friends. And, yeah, much in a similar vein to World Terminus, the worlds are empty, you can't really explore much of anywhere, really, so yeah, again, it creates this, really cool atmosphere of, like, it's the worlds we've been to, but not. It's empty. Nobody else is there anymore. They're gone. A blue, 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 blue. But yeah, this is, very much gonna be the last story, well, again, I mean, it's pretty much gonna be the last story point, then we're gonna have another video of, you know, getting the ultimate weapon and finishing off the last of the gummy ship stuff. And, yeah, from that on, it's pretty much onwards towards, well, the end game of the main story of Kingdom Hearts 3, and, yeah, at time of recording, I've pretty much finished up everything that I need to in regards to the main story of Kingdom Hearts. So, yeah, got everything done and dusted. All that I really need to do now is just record, in terms of the gameplay assets, in any case, that, yeah, just record the Remind DLC, which is, it's simultaneously an extension of the endgame of Kingdom Hearts 3, but also, well, to put it in another terms, a continuation. So, yeah, part continuation, part recontextualization, and yeah, something that is, for a lot of people, already kind of iffy, but Aquash, whatever. It's more of what you love, or don't love, or haven't really caught up with yet, because there are several parts of Kingdom Hearts 3 and viewership is tanking like a bitch. Mayhaps that was my hubris for getting a large viewership during the freelancer commentary. Who knows really, but yeah. Either way, as we continue to rescue our Disney friends and Square Enixy friends. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say, except I'm gonna spray water on you. I did have a point that I was gonna bring up, but I have forgotten. And see, look, it's someone's heartless and not the unversed that were initially there. You see. Yeah, by the way, another thing I guess I could also bring up in terms of trivia, you know, while we're busy, just sort of, doing Aquish whatever, is, yeah, on a somber note, similar to how Leonard Nimoy no longer voices Old Man Xehanort due to having a serious case of death. Yeah, the same also goes for, Old Man Xehanort, whose, Japanese voice actor Chikao Otsuka, who coincidentally also died in 2015, no longer voices Old Man Xehanort in Japan. And Chikao Otsuka, funnily enough, was also a rather prolific voice actor in his own right, who was also the Japanese voice actor of Dr. Eggman. So yeah, as something of a heartwarming note as well to kind of cap off that story, yeah, Akio Otsuka, who was the Japanese voice actor of Solid Snake, ended up taking over his father's role as Old Man Xehanort, which is quite sweet. And again, not to go too deep in the Metal Gear Solid tangent, is also kind of adorable considering that, yeah, I mean, he and Chikao Otsuka were estranged for many years, and that final scene between Big Boss and Solid Snake and MGS4 was actually the two of them reuniting as, you know, father and son and acting alongside each other. So, yeah. I mean, regardless of what you might think about MGS4, it's a kind of nice note. Sniff, sniff. A blue, 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 blue. Let's see, what else do I have here? Any fitting trivia to talk about? Well, I mean, again, I suppose I can also talk about this in terms of what, you know, Chirithy was talking about earlier, in terms of, again, the power of waking and the concepts of death and sleep being closely knit, meaning that, again, as I mentioned beforehand, if you were using the power of waking to bring the dead back to life, as Sora was doing for his friends right here, and, yeah, at the end of the game, with the laws of reality being rewritten, you're basically exiled from existence. And, again, you are going to be seeing little bits and pieces of, how exactly that comes to be, but, yeah, needless to say, you're banished never to return. But where do you end up? Well, that's a good question. Are you technically dead? What does it mean to be exiled from the universe? I wonder, dear boy. I wonder. But again, I mean, it's these sorts of questions and more that does make me excited for Kingdom Hearts 4 to see how they play with this, you know, very fantastical sort of concept, and just to see how it plays out. I mean, not just for the existing characters that we don't really have much on at present, you know, Demyx, Luxord, and as well as some of the other stuff related to, you know, Marluxia and Loxine, and again, all the elements that they do bring up in Kingdom Hearts 3 that, you know, otherwise should have gone towards, you know, characters, you know, getting, well, I was about to say getting the rent away, but that's a rather different meaning. I mean characters, excuse me, getting their happy ending, like a, you know, Birth by Sleep. And of course, the 358 over 2 days trio. But again, that's just sort of me talking turkey about, you know, future events. In the meantime, though, we still have another leash to destroy, and, well, that pretty much being the end of it. And there are actually some rather lengthy load times that I am actually cutting down out of this, because I guess some of these areas, with the power of the PlayStation 4, do take a bit of rendering power, so squaddle, we're off. Yes, we can't lock onto target up there. The lower floor is all we have. And notice how it's utilizing different elemental attacks depending on what part of the areas we're in. Very interesting. Yeah, we also have little Gino over there, or at least what I assume is meant to be an homage to it, but maybe, possibly, probably not, because otherwise Nintendo would have a field day going, man, that's illegal, and you're getting in trouble. Kerblamo. Yes, we once again get to bask in the glory that is Toy Sora. I do genuinely wonder if they had like a... if they have Square Enix ever bothered to release something like that, although probably not. Who knows, really. The heart is freed. Free to return from whence it came. Hey, you stop that. I'll harm you. No. You know, they could have just closed the door on that little thing over there, but whatever, I guess having a little shield barrier is good enough for us. We cannot leave. Because of the magical barrier. Because I guess they couldn't be bothered to program in, like, a closed door animation slash model form for it. Or even, like, some barriers of entry. Oh, well, then again, I suppose somebody would have the smart aleck remark of, well, if there's barriers in the way, why can't we just jump over? Yeah, chimichangas! And now we return to Rapunzel. We shall save them from their demise. Oh, dearie me. Hopefully we don't encounter the sorceress slash Mother Gothel. By the way, that's the entrance to, I think it was called the Snuggly Duckling, which was pretty much the pub that Eugene takes Tangled Lady to. But yeah, hopefully we don't encounter the sorceress, who would later make a cameo in the Snow Queen, as I learned in the fairy tale extended universe. God, what a tangled web we weave. Ha 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 ha, boom boom. See, I did a basil brush. Why do I make so many references to things that nobody has seen since like 1976? Oh, even Maven. Mysterious. I mean, again, I am basically making, you know, little jokey jokes just for the sake of itself, but, I mean, really, if there's anything else I have to say about this entire segment of Fighting the Leech, it is, you know, quite impactful, incredibly mysterious, and overall, it is a very enjoyable segment of gameplay. It's just the factor that, well, you know, there's not really too much context akin to what you would have seen in World Terminus, where, you know, the worlds were literally falling apart. Which, I mean, I suppose... Sora burned his butt, and now his butt got cooled down by air. Okay, apparently my mental intelligence diminished from adult age to childhood age, apparently, in that section, but... Yeah, needless to say, it lacks a lot of the stakes of Kingdom Hearts 1, but again, it's not really intending to go for those same sort of stakes, really just more so... It's just a familiarity element of the... Well, again, Sora pretty much dooming himself, so... Again, it does work on a very different level, but, you know, through a very similar theming. And again, theming and parallels is something that Kingdom Hearts, I find, does quite well, really. Well, most of the time, Birth by Sleep notwithstanding, but then again, you all know my opinions on that. But, yeah. We are very much reaching the end of our little journey throughout the Sleeping Realms, and, yeah. Speaking of the Sleeping Realms, we're gonna have another encounter with an old friend of ours. One who joined us during the Mark of Mastery exam, and was there to similarly mock Sora for his insolence, and also pretty much tell him, like, dude, I'm the bad guy, and even I know that you have completely fucked up, so, well, happy trails, and, enjoy prolonging people's existence until Kingdom Hearts 4. So long, fuckers. But in any case, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep a new medal, and next time on Kingdom Hearts 3, well, yeah, we see a restoration of everybody's hearts.
Well, Sora, I'd say we've been to every world that we can visit.
But we're one short. Where's Kairi's heart?
Gee, I wish I knew.
You!
Hmm?
All that gallivanting through the sleeping worlds, and yet you learned nothing.
What?
Dream by dream. You nearly buried yourself in the dark of sleep, and now you're at it again. The Lich you've been fighting, it's not like other Heartless. It exists to usher hearts down to the depths of darkness. If you chase it, you will condemn your heart to that same abyss.
You're wrong. My heart is strong.
What do you think the power of waking is? It's for traversing hearts to reach worlds, not for traversing worlds to reach hearts. There's a high price to pay for wielding such power foolishly.
So what? You're worried about me now?
No. There's no saving you.
Huh.
You've paid the price, and it lies at the bottom of the abyss.
Wait!
Oh, Sora!
Oh,
Hurry, Sora! The way to the Keyblade Graveyard is open! Chipper and I found a new path!
Haha!
of course! That's the one place we haven't checked yet.
Off we go!